Alright, we got a regular battle, Simphiwe Icon versus Niick Shade, 1 round, no particular categories, just the usual categories. Alright, Simphiwe, trying to be SI, that's why verse phase you lost, plus your raps, newtons, what you drod is forced. It actually took me a minute to figure out where the fuck you were rhyming, because what you jot is forced doesn't rhyme with Tompo with the ponytail, which doesn't rhyme with Try and Ask Will Mac, which doesn't rhyme with Netflix with new episodes. Took me a minute to realise trying to be SI, that's why verse phase you lost, is supposed to rhyme with what you jot is forced. And verse you, I can't fail Tompo with the ponytail. Okay, so each line, okay, so basically it's a snare drum rhyme. Okay, so we've got a rhyme here, rhymes with this, and then we're on a completely different rhyme here, rhymes with ponytail, etc. Okay, so trying to be SI, that's why verse phase you lost, plus your raps, newtons, what you jot is forced. So obviously I gotta put a bit of an African accent on this, and I'm shit at African accents, but that's why verse phase you lost, plus your raps, verse newtons, what you jot is forced. My kicks break walls, so verse you, I can't fail, because it'll break your body easily, Tompo with the ponytail. When I post, you can feel that. Think bath, I can hurt your feelings without even trying. Ask Will Mac. When I post, you can feel that. Tink bath. Ask Will Mac. That, think bath. Ask Will Mac. That, tink bath. Ask Will Mac. Yeah, okay, I can kind of see how it works. I get reactions in many posts, and I'm dropping jaws and I'm extending clips like Netflix with new episodes. Many posts, new episodes. Yeah, that's a little cleaner. This is one of these examples where I have no doubt this would work in audio. I have no doubt your local accent would sound like it was flowing and rhyming in audio. As text, it falls off a bit. Some of your rhymes just do not naturally rhyme. In my New Zealand accent, when I do my mental American accent, they don't rhyme. So just try and be a little bit more conscious of the fact that you're writing for a geographically dispersed international audience here on Facebook, and just try and keep your rhymes so they're more universally understood, so they're like more precise rhymes. The more you slant rhyme on Facebook in a text-based format, the more you're going to start losing people, because what slant rhymes for you in your local accent is not going to slant rhyme for me in my accent. It's kind of restrictive, but you really do need to try and keep your multis as precise and clean as possible. But okay, once I sort of mentally put on my fucking comical fucking African accent, yeah, I can see how it works. Alright, moving on to Niick Shade. I got a round with me, not coins. Load it though, could run his line with it like Devonta ringing. But the maxim is, actions hit louder, so on some manic shit, the arms stay swinging. Got club to make an icon fam flow rivers where you'll see whales, no more to Andre singing. Mean on some cancerous shit, he's sick spitting, I'm losing pounds to him, but it's not way Steve did, his cap ain't thinking. I'm on his track shooting tops, dolly type tech, moving fast with it, but the cam ain't real wheels. Rhymes are a little cleaner in my accent to my ear here for most of it. flow and cadence. Niick's used a more familiar, more traditional rhyming structure, but yeah, he's used a more traditional rhyming structure, and a lot of his rhymes are more exact and a more natural rhyme for me. But he's got more filler syllables between each rhyme, so the cadence is off, the flow is off. It's just a little bit too wordy between each set of multis. So basic rhyming and flow and structure. Kind of a tie there. Niick's got cleaner rhyming in most places. Simphiwe's got a tighter cadence that helps you keep a mental flow. Whereas Niick starts wandering off into verbose spoken poetry type territory. Alright, bars and content. Trying to be SI, that's why verse phase you lost, plus your raps, Newtons, what you jot is forced. That's pretty cool. I think maybe you could have made it a little bit more obvious if you'd said something like, your rap should be something about the units, your rap should be measured in Newtons or something. And then that would have avoided the need to put the expo, but then you've done it that way to trim out words and keep the flow clean. It's pretty good. My kicks break walls, so burst you, I can't fail because I'll break your body easily. Tompo with the ponytail. I googled that. I couldn't find anything for Tompo. What I did find was a lot of people seem to make this mistake. I think you're talking about the Jean-Claude Van Damme kickboxer movie. The dude with the ponytail, his name was actually Tong Po, not Tompo. But that's the closest thing I can find on Google, so I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. And if that's what you're talking about and it's just a simple misspelling, mispronunciation of that guy's name, yeah, it's got to be my kicks break walls. Because like there's that whole opening scene where he's kicking the pillar in the locker rooms and the dust is falling down from the ceiling and shit. So that's got to be what he's talking about. And that's once you forgive the misspelling, the mispronunciation of the name, that's pretty cool. When I can post, you can feel that, think bath. I'm assuming you're talking about Rickenbacker here. I can hurt your feelings without even trying. Ask Will Mac. That's a little over my head. I'm kind of missing the joke there, mostly because I don't pay any fucking attention to what Rickenbacker spews from his mouth. I get the general concept though. I get reactions in many posts and I'm dropping jaws when extending clips like Netflix with new episodes. That's pretty clean. That's pretty nice. Niick, content and bars. I got a round with me, not coins. Load it though, could run his line with it like Devonta ringing. I had to Google that. I assume you were talking about Devonta Freeman, wide receiver for the Philly Eagles. Could run his line with it. So I'm assuming that's referring to, like making a breakaway run. Carving straight through their line and having a clean run to the try line or touchdown zone, whatever the fuck you guys call it. So I had to Google it, I had to think about it a bit, which means you kind of lose the audience. It's not the same as like a bar that I just immediately understand and immediately get. If I have to go away and Google something, the joke is kind of lost. But I got a round with me, not coins, that's obvious enough. Load it though, could run his line with it like Devonta ringing. Once I go away and Google it and ruminate on it for a few minutes, I get it. But the fact that I've had to Google it and ruminate it means a lot of the impact is lost. But the maxim is actions hit louder, So on some manic shit, the arms stay swinging. That's obvious enough, clean enough. Got club to make an icon fam flow rivers. We all see whales, no more to Andre singing. I googled DeAndre and DeAndre singer and DeAndre singing, and all I could find was like some fucking 1950s, 1960s Italian crooner from the Frank Sinatra era, Frank Sinatra style, kind of thing that your grandmother might fucking listen to. So I don't know if that's what you were talking about. But okay, I've got a club to make Icon's fam flow rivers, as in crying. We all see whales. So we'll see them wailing in grief, and then you've got sea whales. You were spelled C-S-E-A, as in we're talking about, whales, humpback whales, sperm whales, blue whales. I'm not sure why the fuck that's in there. I don't get the connection. Unless you're talking about clubbing baby dolphins. Got club to make an icon fam flow rivers. We all see whales. No more to Andre singing. That's all just very confused, and I don't get the joke, whatever the joke is supposed to be. Mean on some cancerous shit. He's sick spitting. Mean on some cancerous shit. He's sick spitting. I'm losing pounds to him, but it's not the way Steve did. His cap ain't thinking. So maybe you're trying to say he couldn't spit sick if he had cancer, or the only way he'd spit sick is if he had cancer. Losing pounds to him, like losing weight when you're fighting cancer. But it's not the way Steve did. His cap ain't thinking. This just loses me completely. Who the fuck is Steve? I have no idea. Whose cap ain't thinking? I don't know. I'm completely fucking lost there. I'm on his track shooting tops. Dolly type tech, moving fast with it, but this cam ain't real wheels. Okay, so I'm on his track shooting tops. Alright, so you're on the guy's trail, shooting rounds at his head, which is some dolly type tech, moving fast with it, but this cam ain't real wheels. Okay, so you're talking about, like a dolly camera setup, where the camera moves on smooth rails to zoom in on the action without changing the focal length. So the concept is pretty nice. I'm on his track shooting tops, dolly type tech. Like, that concept right there is pretty nice. The execution is a little wordy. There's just too many syllables between the rhymes. But it's alright. It's alright. Okay, so alright, let's have a quick look at categories. Where are we? Opener, closer. Simphiwe takes that. Trying to beat your side, that's where Vespasian lost. Plus your raps, Newton's what you jot as Fost. That's pretty clean and self-explanatory. Whereas Nick's opener, round with me, not coins, load it, runner's line with it, like the Vonda ringing. That's okay, but it's not as clean and not as self-explanatory as Simphiwe's was. Closes, same again. I get reactions in mini posts, and I'm dropping jaws when extending clips like Netflix with new episodes. That's pretty clean, self-explanatory. Nobody needs to go away and Google that. Nobody needs to think about it too hard. Whereas down here we got not the way Steve did, his cap ain't thinking. I'm on his track shooting tops, dolly type tech, moving fast with it, but this cam ain't real wheels. It's not the way Steve did, his cap ain't thinking. This cam ain't real wheels. Your rhyme drops off completely there. That rhyming is way off. And it's a little too wordy. And the setup to it is that cancer, losing pounds, not the way Steve did his campaign, thinking where I'm just completely fucking lost and I don't know what's going on. So the setup negatively affects the closing punch. So Simphiwe takes opener and closer. Rhymes, multis. Nick takes that. Simphiwe's, I can see how they work in his local accent, maybe. And audio, maybe it would be different. But here in text, Nick's a cleaner, and he takes that. So that's one category each. Wordplay. What have we got? Newton's forced. Kicks break walls. Break your body easily. Extending clips, Netflix, new episodes. That's probably the strongest, most obvious wordplay there. Loaded is too forced. Rounds with me, not coins. Meh, half a point for that. Arms stay swinging. Yeah. Sea whales, I have no fucking idea why that's in there. So we're not counting that. Cancerous, 6 spitting. Losing pounds to him. Traction, yeah. Wordplay, Nick's taking more swings at that. Alright, so that goes to Simphiwe, that goes to Nick, that goes to Nick. Punchlines. Newton's what you drop is force, that's nice and clean. Break your body easily, Tompo with the ponytail, that's pretty clean. Think bath, hurt your feelings without even trying, ask Will Mac, whoosh over my head. Reactions in many posts, extending clips like Netflix with new episodes, that's nice. Right, runner's line with it, like Devonta ringing. It's okay. On some manic shit, the arms stay swinging, that's okay. No more to Andre singing, completely lost on that one. It's not the way Steve did his campaign thinking, completely lost on that one. And then you've got the dolly type tech, which is a nice concept, but I feel the execution is off. I think Simphiwe takes punchlines because he just delivers them cleaner, clearer. You don't have to think about them, so they hit you with more immediacy. Similes, metaphors, I'm not counting that as separate to punchlines, I just lump that in together. Vocab, which also covers, grammar as well. And Simphiwe takes that, he's cleaner. Alright, nobody's really stood out as having a vocabulary that's insanely better or worse than the other guy. But Simphiwe definitely demonstrates a better command of the English language in terms of nice, clean, clear grammar that's easy to read. Personals. What you jot is forced, could be counted as a personal. Other than that, it's Superman bars. Superman. That may be a personal, he may be talking about another fucking battle rapper, but I don't know. No real personals in there. So that's a bit of a non-event. Enjoyment. Simphiwe takes that just because it's cleaner and clearer. I don't have to wade my way through bad grammar and stop and pause and reconstruct sentences in my head to make them make sense. Everything is just a lot cleaner, clearer. Flows off the page a lot smoother. So Nick's standouts, his rhyming was probably more precise and accurate and cleaner in places. He's got that dolly type tech. That was a nice concept. It was a nice concept. I just wish it had been delivered in a cleaner manner, but it was a nice concept. It demonstrates some nice thinking. But overall, Simphiwe takes this one for me because he's just cleaner and clearer. Some of his rhymes are a little forced for me, but once I start doing the African accent in my head, I see how they can work. It would have been helpful if you had caps locked these rhymes, because it took me a little minute to figure out where it was actually supposed to rhyme. Or just like hit shift and return after the setup to the rhyme. I see you have used, dot dot dot. You've used an ellipsis, 3 periods to denote. Yeah, okay, so that's like a pause in a vocal delivery type thing. So you have kind of tried to highlight where the rhyme setups are. So we'll give you that one. So just overall enjoyment, and this one is edged, not by a lot, but it's edged by Simphiwe. Cleaner, clearer. I don't have to think about the punchlines. I don't have to go and Google anything. Nick's done alright, but it just could have been cleaner. Cut out a few words, and stuff like Devonta ringing. Not everybody follows American sports, man. DeAndre singing. Who the fuck is DeAndre? I don't know. It's not the way Steve did. His cap ain't thinking, who the fuck's Steve? I don't know. It's your job as the author to explain things to the reader so we get it. Simphiwe edges this one. That's why. Congrats, Simphiwe.